For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. While this saying has been applied to many things, it's most known as Newton's third law of motion. If I were to place my future duel monster's deck on a table, the deck would apply a downward force on that table due to the downward gravitational pull. But the table in turn will react with an equal and opposite force up against the object, thus supporting it. Of course, in spite of there being an equal reaction, the second law of motion would let you know that a force is dependent on the object's mass and acceleration. If I was to apply enough decks on the table until the mass is so great that it exceeds the reactive force the table can provide in response, then the table would break. Or in this case, if I were to apply this pack of extreme force on a table, then the result would be...
What have I done?
I guess all we can do is open up this other pack right here before it has the chance to do any more damage than I already have. There we go. All open. The first card of today is Verdant Battlelord, a 7-star ritual zombie monster with an attack of 2700 and 0 defense. Is this what the gritty Skeletor is gonna look like in a gritty reboot?
Foolish He-Man, my spiked shoulder pads and impractical sword will be your doom!
You can ritual summon this card with any Vendread ritual spell. You can banish one Vendread card from your GY and declare one type of card, monster, spell or trap. For the rest of this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects of that type. If this ritual summoned card is sent to the GY, you can add one ritual monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, send one Vendread monster from your deck to the GY. You can only use each effect of Verdant Battlelord once per turn. Not too shabby. But you guys know the drill by now, I'm not going for the ritual monsters if I can help it. Coming up next, we've got Underclock Taker, which is a Cyber's Link 2 monster that depicts some sort of bongo drum or futuristic sundial? Or compass? I don't know. He's not exactly high on the cool scale. Let's see, needs 2 effect monsters to be summoned and has an attack of 1000. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster this card points to and one face-up monster your opponent controls. The opponent's target loses attack equal to the attack of the target this monster points to until the end of this turn. And judging by these arrows on the card, I'm guessing that this means that if my opponent has some sort of big monster in the extra monster zone, then I could possibly make its attack lower with something that I have in my zones. Not the greatest card, but hey, it won't hurt. Coming up next, we've got Flick Clown, which doesn't look like a clown as much as some sort of magician with 4 arms. A 4-star Cyber's monster with 1000 attack and 1400 defense. If you control at least 2 other Cyber's monsters and have no cards in your hand, you can pay 1000 life points, draw 1 card. You can only use this effect of Flick Clown once per turn. So, he's got low stats, his effect requires a lot to activate, with an added loss of life points. Not looking good for ya, Flicky. Your multitude of limbs will not make you more special. Something that hopefully is special is the next card that I pull, which is Euler Circuit, which is a field spell card and it depicts some sort of a rune summoning circle, except it was probably drawn by an alien who doesn't understand how pentagrams work. Your opponent's monsters cannot attack if you control 3 or more Tindangle monsters. Once per turn during your standby phase, you can target one Tindangle monster you control, give control of it to your opponent. You can banish this card from your GY and discard one Tindangle card, add one Euler Circuit from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Euler Circuit once per turn. Well, I got another Tindangle related card, though not one that I could use at the moment. Would need at least one more Tindangle monster. So let's hope that this next card might be it. It's a Bit Trooper. Or a Bi Trooper. Let's see, he's a 4-star Cyber's monster with 1500 attack and 2000 defense. And as for his effect, you can send one level 2 or lower monster from your hand to the GY. Special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Bit Trooper once per turn. I've got about 5 cards that would allow me to use this effect. And if I can special summon him to the field, then it will help me a lot with all these tribute summon cards that I have. Next one in line is Artifact Mjolnir, which in true anime fashion is extremely overdesigned. It's a 5-star fairy with an attack of 1300 and defense of 1800. You can set this card from your hand to your spell and trap zone as a spell. During your opponent's turn, if this set card in the spell and trap zone is destroyed and sent to your GY, special summon it. If this card is special summoned during your opponent's turn, target one artifact monster in your GY, special summon it in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon monsters until the end of the next turn, except artifact monsters. You can only use this effect of Artifact Mjolnir once per turn. That's a rather specific special summoning condition, ain't it? Feels like the kind of card you really need to know the meta of the game in order to use well. Which I don't. And if I may be so shallow, I tend to prefer monster cards that depict, well, monsters and characters as opposed to just objects. Coming up, we've got the card Mania Devil.
Who is an adorable little Mania Devil?
A 4-star beast with 1700 attack and 1400 defense. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can add one level 4 or lower beast monster from your deck to your hand. I like it, but I can't make use of its effect.
He's still an adorable little murder machine though.
And we've arrived at a penultimate card, which is Mech Orange Sunset. Orange is my favorite color and it looks cool, so you better be cool. A 6-star psychic with 800 attack and 3000 defense. He's the strongest tank I've drawn so far, so coolness retained. As for his effect, if 2 or more cards are in the same column, you can special summon this card from your hand in that column. You can only special summon Mech Orange Sunset once per turn this way. If an opponent's card in this card's column is destroyed by battle or leaves the field, you can special summon one Mech Knight monster from your hand.
Ooh, he's tempting.
Had I taken that other Mech Knight as well, this probably would have been a winner. Let's see if I change my mind when I see the next card, which is Trading Places. Looks like the YuGiOh version of that body snatcher meme. If your life points are higher than your opponent's, switch your life points with your opponent. But why? The green warlock on the picture pretty much illustrates my feelings. Troubled yet confused. Getting the clear picks out of the way first, Underclock Taker and Bit Trooper. One is a free pick to the extra deck and the other is just plain good. This means I got 2 more Cyberse monsters in my deck, which means that Flick Clown might actually be of use. He could also help me use my beginning of the end card. He's still so weak though. Orange Sunset has far better defense and is probably more likely that I can use this effect to special summon him, rather than activating Flick Clown's effect.
I don't know.
Wait. I can only use Flicky's effect if I have no cards in my hand. And when you consider this deck that I built, how likely is that scenario?
Not very likely.
So we're going with the Orange Sunset. It's the one that my heart calls out to. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Hope you all enjoyed it and join me in the next one, which will be the final pack opening video. Catch ya later.